My son, Kevin, started his journey with the trades in grade 8. He was fortunate to have a couple of electives with a very inspirational teacher, and he was really intrigued about it. So he did a metalwork introduction, and he did a carpentry woodwork introduction. And his journey at high school, my son struggled with dyslexia, but he found his niche with hands-on activities. And so through high school, he had the opportunity to take a variety of hands-on classes. And during that time, his teacher, Steve Klassen, was instrumental in pointing Kevin in the direction of thinking about youth and trades. And he was unfortunately part of the pandemic grade 12. So in 2020, we had started, well, I guess 2019, we started investigating the opportunity to do the youth and trades. And then, of course, everything changed. But fortunately, we had already started discussing it. And because of Kevin's birthday, he's a late year birthday, he was able to start at the college in September of 2020 in the electrical trades program at North Island College. And yeah, so that was sort of how we kind of fell into it. I think it was partly people and partly interest on my son's part. Oh, that's a good question. We went to a couple of information nights. We went to one at school before Kevin. I think Kevin was probably in grade 10 at that point. And we thought that maybe it would be a good track for him. And then we went to one skills night at the college, and we toured the facility with our son. And I think that really helped us understand what we were thinking about in the future. And we did it when he was much younger, so that by the time he was ready to actually take that step, we already knew what to expect. So I definitely recommend going to the parent information sessions, even if you're not sure about your child's actual interest in the trades. I think it really helped. And we were fortunate also to be friends with a person that's involved in helping get the students into the programs. And so they answered a lot of questions that we had initially. And I think really our questions initially were just, how is this all going to happen? How is our son going to find an apprenticeship? How is he going to do the Red Seal journey? How are all these pieces going to happen? And I think our initial worries have been assuaged as we went through the process, because you just have to worry about right now. You don't have to worry about what's going to happen 4 years from now. And I think once we kind of took a deep breath and went, okay, we can figure this out together. And it's very different because my husband and I don't work in the trades, and we really didn't have any knowledge about what that looked like. So for us, our journey was very different. And so it's been a lot of learning for our whole family. It's been really good. I think once we helped our son find an apprenticeship, and we were fortunate to find one in the Valley with a company that is continuing to grow, Kevin has been able to go between schooling and apprenticing and live at home, especially with the pandemic time of this all. That really changed the conversation, because I know a lot of Kevin's friends had much more uncertainty, but his path has been very clear as to what happens next and on what timeline. An amazing part too has been that he has been able to earn money the whole time through and keep financing the next part of his journey. And his goal is to eventually become a business owner himself. And so he's been able to save some of his earnings for that potential to buy a business in the future. And I think we really appreciate that. I think because my husband and I both went to university, um, I had always imagined that my son would follow in our footpath and go to university as well. And so letting go, it was a different time, and letting go of that expectation. But we came to realize that his pathway was different than ours, and that the skilled trades actually offers much more benefit at the moment than university would have for our son. And I think that was kind of our initial reluctance. One of our concerns was also that we just didn't really know anything about the trades. I didn't know what kind of clothes he needed. I didn't know what kind of tools he needed. And we've been fortunate to have people step up and say, hey, this is what you need. This is what you should think about. So I think our concerns and our reluctance were more because we really didn't know. And as we've learned and shared conversations with other parents, I think that's been really helpful, is that you realize it's not so difficult to do, and that there's lots of great opportunities at the other end of it too. I think that it's important to go and look at the opportunities. Your child has to have certain characteristics. This isn't for everybody. I think a major component is the ability to work hard and to be good with your hands, to be able to solve problems independently, and to be able to ask for support when you need it. And not every person is able to do that. I think there's a lot of assumptions with trades that it's a certain kind of person that goes into trades. And what I've come to realize is that there's all kinds of people that go into trades, and a lot of them are amazing, critical thinkers who have an issue and figure out what to do on their own, in the moment, solve the problem. And I know this because Kevin comes home and tells us about little scenarios. This happened today. And then he tells us what he did to solve the problem. And the more that I see my son go through this journey, the more that I realize that intelligence is very much part of it, as well as the ability to work hard, to be able to self-direct, to be able to take direction as well.